Our third item down here, I'm actually going to gloss over for the most part because most of these settings, just about all these settings with one single exception, are those that you will probably never find yourself adjusting. These Kerberos policy settings have to do with the generation of Kerberos tickets for validating a user's authentication and then reusing that ticket for other authorization to resources in the environment. Here you can see where you can enforce user logon restrictions, which effectively determines the use of Kerberos and the creation of tickets for the purpose of determining who can log in and for what reasons. Down here are the maximum lifetimes for the different tickets then that Kerberos will create: the service ticket, the user ticket, and also the user ticket renewal. Again, I'm kind of purposely glossing over these because you're probably never going to adjust these, because even most applications would never require the reconfiguration of your entire Kerberos policy to support a single application. You just don't find that often. But where you do find some configurations sometimes, or at least a fallout effect of a particular setting that you've set, is right down here at the bottom for the maximum tolerance for computer clock synchronization. Now, one of the tenets of Kerberos, one of the ways that facilitates its functionality, is that all the computers participating in an Active Directory domain have to have a clock that is synchronized to each other. If the clocks were mismatched, well then, as you can see here, the lifetime of these individual tickets would then be mismatched as well. Having mismatched clocks would allow a user to perhaps extend the lifetime of their Kerberos ticket, and that could be a potential attack vector. So you can see here that the maximum tolerance for computer clock synchronization here for Kerberos is 5 minutes. Now, again, you probably will never adjust this, but you need to be aware that all the machines in your Active Directory environment need to have a clock that is within 5 minutes of each other, or you won't be able to log in, or you'll experience other authentication issues associated with Kerberos. Again, I tell you this not because you're going to adjust it, but occasionally when you find clock skew among the machines in your domain, you'll find yourself with some really oddball error messages that can be difficult to try to find the root cause for. One of the very first things you might take a look at is the time on those machines to validate that the time on the domain controller, and very specifically the PDC emulator role holder, we'll talk about that here in a module upcoming, that role holder and the client experiencing the problem need to have clocks that are synchronized to within 5 minutes of each other.